Hi, for those of you who are joining me, I've had a note from Sharon, and she is going to a scrap or crop tomorrow, and she's going to take the dies with her to play with and make a book, and she needed some instruction on how to do the spine and how to cut the cardboard. And I said, I'll show you, because when I try to describe it, it sounds harder than it really is. So Sharon, I start with the spine, and when you fold that, we're going to pretend that you're only going to do 6 pages, which would be 2, 4, 6, one facing and one behind, making it making the spine die only necessary for one time, because you're going to leave a little tiny flange on the other side. Now I'm going to run a piece of tape down these right quick, because if you don't see this in action and you get confused about it, I don't want to mislead you. So we're just going to do it like we normally would do it. And I'm using 3 different colors of paper so that we'll have an exact idea on where we're going on these things. So let me pull this off, glue them together, and the first thing that we're going to do after we get through with this is we are going to cut the spine the correct size, okay? Because remember, our paper isn't this wide. I chose to use the second largest die set in that one, and that's this. And then, of course, your decorator paper is going to be just the one, just down a size from that, but it doesn't have the flange on the edge, so that won't be so confusing. Okay, hold on just a minute, and we'll make that third one. Okay, so this is what I have. This is my spine paper, and it's glued together, and I have creased it. And when you're doing these, if you'll start up, go down, up, down, then you skip the widest space and go to the next most narrow, and you're going to go just like you do on a regular one, so that you have those 3 standing spines. Now, I take my die that I used to cut my cover from, I lay that on top of, now remember, this area that the flange is going to be where my spine is connected, and I'm going to lay that on top of the little dots here on my spine. They're little knots. I'm going to push this up so you can maybe see. I forget where I am. Can you see just a little shadow of silver? Maybe there, maybe that's it. You can see the shadow of silver. Those are the lengths where you're going to remove the paper from the spine that you cut out of cardstock. Well, duh. Okay, and mine is going to be, just a second. So I'm going to take, I use a white pencil, and I recommend these highly if you don't have one. Take it with you. We use so much black cardstock and dark colors, but it's really, this is really the best. I love the white on anything, because it doesn't have to be erased, and it just goes away. So I'm going to mark where that is, and I'm going to cut that across. And I'm going to use a cutting board to make sure that I'm straight. I'm going to put my line into the little groove formed by the cutting board, and then I'm going to just snip, because my little cutter is not, I mean, it's a Fiskars and I love it, but it doesn't cut through, like, there are parts of this, it's going to be like 6 layers, and it's not. But as long as I can get one layer cut, and I'm on here really good and straight, then what I can do is just, see, it's going to bend and let me know exactly where that is. I'll just run my scissors across there and cut that off. I discard those because you're never going to use them for anything. They're too small. I even tried to use them for a flop card, a flip-flop card thing, and it didn't work. So don't waste your time. Okay, I'm through with this, except for, now, one is my front cover and one is my back cover. This is where the die cut away, so I'm going to remove that with my scissors, cutting right to the edge from the outside in to the lowest point of the curve that the die made leaving me that line that the die will make when it goes over, not the cutting line, but the outside line of the, right here. Remember, there's no cut on this one, so that's what it's going to pressure the paper into being a little bit flatter. Well, I'm going to leave those, and I'm going to clip into that. Just now, on some of the dies, I've noticed they have a little 1/8 of an inch notch in them, and you'll match that notch and do it. And I don't know why my first set didn't. My second set does, but it has a notch in it. Now, this is what I'm going to do to make this easier for myself. I'm going to lay this piece of paper down on my scoreboard, and I'm going to score this all the way across from this line. Wait a minute, I'm not straight. This line all the way across. Okay? And from this line, and that's the bottom of the curve, it's right here. I'm going all the way across with mine. But I'm not cutting it, I'm marking it so I can fold it, okay? If you'll look at this, you can easily tell the right side from the wrong, because since this has a little stitched edge, you're going to see that it's a little bit more visible on the front, and on the back, it's not so visible as it is messy. So if you don't cut these in just a little bit, this is that typical cut in just a little bit so it won't keep your papers from being right. We have a guest coming. This is not a good time for you to sit here. Come here, baby. I'm sorry. Cat, in the way. I'm going to do the same thing to, we're going to call the red one the back. So I'm going to go to that line. I'm even, and I'm going to score all the way across. Fold it, and I'm folding it toward the back side, not the front side. Okay? So I'll do it this way. This is not difficult. This is one of those easy peasy things that just works for you. I jumped the line. Sorry. Nope, I'm over too far. Here we go. Let's go this one. It doesn't matter that that's marked like that either. It won't hurt it. Okay, so I'm folding to the back. I'm going to take just a little bit of this allowance. Okay, now we have the front and the back ready to go, and we have our allowance left out there. And this is why I wanted to do this online, because I didn't want you to think that we had to do that. Okay, so hold on just 1 second and let me take care of the door.